of soil brothers and soil sisters. Thought I had my life together over here, but I don't. So today is Wednesday. I hope y'all are having an amazing week and safe week. I know it is rainy, and the floods are real. So I'm gonna start off by saying we are definitely praying for all that are experiencing this wild weather event we have going on. It's been raining every day here in Savannah. Thankfully we are not flooding here, and hopefully we will remain that way. But we definitely pray and think about everyone that is flooding. It's crazy. I definitely worry about my family all the time in Virginia. I was born and raised in Virginia, and there's a lot of flooding in Virginia. I'm grateful that it's mainly all around my family, but I'm sorry that others have to go through this. But, you know, things are different. And we want y'all to be prepared and alert, always paying attention to what's going on. Because we don't know. We don't know. But definitely pay attention. Stay prayed up. And be prepared as you can. I know a lot of these events, it's like, how do you prepare for something like this that will just pop up? I can't even tell you how you can prepare. There are a few things you can do to help yourself, but definitely paying attention. And I know sometimes they don't even acknowledge or give you any type of warning, which make things bad. But definitely pray for one another. Prayers work, y'all. They do work. And we have been praying for our good friends over at Tropical Homestead. It get rough sometimes. You know, life get rough sometimes. They are fighting. You're on the Amtrak this morning. Thought about y'all when I passed through Georgia. Oh, you should have waved. I'd have felt that. Praying for Tropical Homestead and her husband. They are fighting. They are working. They believe in the Lord. They trust God, and that is most important in a healing journey. Is trusting God wholeheartedly and knowing that He'll never leave our side. So she texted me early this morning. She said, "I'm so sorry for texting, but I understand." I told her I'm always here. Text and call anytime, but definitely say a prayer for our friends over at Tropical Homestead, again, because we know prayers work. So, a little housekeeping. If you could be so kind to share this live out. Good morning, G Mama Groves. We appreciate you always moderating for us. You received your honey? Good. I'm glad you got your honey. So if you could be so kind to share this live out, we're going to talk about pain and the journey in healing from pain, because we get a lot of questions from that. So I'm gonna hit on that pretty good today. So if you could share this live out, that would help us out tremendously. If you could give us a thumbs up, YouTube, you can double tap the screen and that give us a reaction. Facebook, this is Bobby and Sherry, Lifestyle and Black Tropical Homestead. So if you can give us a reaction, we would greatly appreciate that. And make sure you are following us or subscribe to us. We have quite a bit reach right now, and it would be so nice if y'all would follow us too. Order the pain drops, can't get through to your page, Pamela. So you can always email us at homestead@blacktropical.com. Let me make sure I drop that. Let me come in the studio and drop that link for y'all so that you can, if you have any issues, you can always, I'm going to remove myself from the stage, email us at homestead@blacktropical.com. So again, good morning. I'm glad to see you all here. We get a lot of questions about pain. If you've been here sometime, you've heard my story of pain. My husband is blessed to not have any major injuries or issues, even though he do get aches and pains occasionally, but we can knock that out real quick. I unfortunately suffered a major back injury in 2012, and I had surgery in 2013. So it was a battle between 2012 and 2013 of healing myself. What am I going to do? I absolutely love the wild yam cream. Oh man, let me see. I wanted to read that. This makes second week and it's been amazing from day one. Good, Deja. Good. Stay consistent. Stay consistent. When I injured my back, me being who I am, tried to push through the pain. I was working as a nurse, and we tried to pull a patient up that was in distress so we could intubate her, and my body was tired. First, we need to learn to listen to our body. And that's one thing I didn't do, because in my mind, I didn't have anything else to do, so let me go to work. So I would bid and go to work. And I worked at one of the major hospitals here in Savannah. Went to work, and I should have just stayed home that day. But something told me go to work and help. Pulled this patient up, and my body was just tired. Sent a message to the other inbox. Jam, send it to Homestead at Blacktropical.com, because my messages get lost in Messenger, and I ain't too good at checking them. Your soursop tree is doing beautiful. Good, Ella, good. So I suffered this injury, and I kept pushing through work for a little while. I was in horrific pain. Like, the other nurses that were staff with me that night were trying to assist me in trying to get through the night with pain medicine, and nothing was working. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I went on to get checked out. I had been falling. I fell a couple times, which made the injury worse. Long story short, I ended up finding out that I broke part of my spine. So a lot of people feel like when you break your back or you break a bone in your back, you won't be able to walk, you won't be able to do this. You can still, some people can still walk. It just depends on how severe the injury is. I was still able to walk, but I kept falling. Like, I had this pinched nerve, my leg would give out. It was just crazy. Thank you so much. 50 gifts. My husband over there, I think he on Facebook. So thank you for gifting 50 people memberships on YouTube. We appreciate that. Hey, dude. So my battle since 2012, when I broke my back, until about a year ago, was I'm tired of hurting. I'm hurting every day. I did get to the point where I was like, you know what? I had this major back injury, and I'm walking. I am blessed to still move around. Yes, you can grow soursop in a pot. I am blessed to be able to walk around, and I just need to slow down and take my time and do things. So I didn't complain. But the pain, we would be out walking around, and I would be holding my back, or, babying one side because my leg would be hurting. And my husband would always say, sit down, let's sit down and just wait a minute. And I would be like, no, because I felt like I was slowing him down and we should be moving. In my early 40s, I felt like I shouldn't be in this much pain. I shouldn't be this slow or going through this much. And I definitely don't want to hinder anybody's life, even though my husband didn't complain. I felt like I was in the way. So I take my pain away and my blood pressure support. I can walk to work now. I don't want my left foot cut off. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Just be consistent. So eventually I was trying to figure out how am I going to get past this pain. Now, the first advice I want to give people when it comes to pain, most of the time it's inflammation. We do have an injury that caused inflammation, or something in our lifestyle that's causing inflammation that's making us hurt. Because some people say, my entire body hurt. When I hear my entire body hurt, I think it gotta be just lifestyle. You know, to have inflammation or pain or arthritis in majority of your body is something that you are consuming. Something that we are eating, whether it's the sugar, the meat isn't good for us, the vegetables aren't good for us, the fruit isn't good for us. It's something that we are consuming that's causing this horrific pain or an agonizing pain, and it is sickening. How do we get past it? We have to first sit down and think and be truthful with ourselves, because a lot of times we be like, I don't eat a lot of sugar, or I don't do this, or I don't do that. We have to be real with ourselves when we want to heal. What am I consuming a lot of? What can I change that could possibly change my life? So, like I used to use white sugar, for instance, or example. I used to use white sugar when making things because I felt like I'm controlling my ingredients, which is where I want to be. I want to control the ingredients, so I can use white sugar because I'm controlling how much white sugar we consuming, compared to when I go to the store and I look at the ingredients and it just says sugar, or it tell you that, you know, it's 69 grams of sugar in here. I can't control that if I'm going to consume it. I'm just going to consume all that sugar. Versus, if I make it at home, I can use my sugar, I can control it. Well, still the white sugar isn't good for us. If you haven't checked out the process of white sugar, you should look at how do they make white sugar, where's your white sugar coming from. And this made us make a change to raw cane sugar. So now we use a raw cane sugar, and hey, yes, it's a mess. We use raw cane sugar, and we use turbinado sugar. So there's a video on YouTube. I think I put it on Facebook too, but there's a video of me explaining the difference in the sugar. But these are the two sugars we use now. And honey. When you use honey, you want to make sure your honey is real. I know a lot of people say agave and all this other stuff. That's mostly high fructose syrup. I know they think agave, or people will say agave is better, but that is high fructose syrup, and it's worse. It's just as bad as white sugar. So when you get honey, you want to make sure it's raw. You ain't gonna get this from the grocery store most of the time. The honey in the grocery store is also high fructose syrup. In the stores, our honey will say raw honey or honey, one ingredient. What they don't have to tell you is honey is basically, in the store, raw honey can be 10% of this and 90% high fructose syrup to make honey. But all they have to put on the label is honey. So this is why I always say labels lie, because certain information they don't have to give us in the United States. I think it's a complete ripoff, because this is my life. And I'm trying to feed my family properly, and the label isn't even telling me that this product contains 90% high fructose syrup and 10% raw honey. No, it makes you believe that it's all honey. So first you want to look at things like that. Our wheat, the wheat, y'all, that wheat that, I'm going to say grains, the grains that we consume, because when I say grains, I'm talking about rice, oats, flour, all of these grains that we've been consuming for years. Now we know ain't nothing what it used to be back in the days. All these grains that we have been consuming for years are now taking a toll on us. Our kids have eczema, psoriasis, asthma, ADHD, autism, just everything we can think of. We have these weird skin disorders. We're allergic to stuff. We can't eat this. We can't do that. I always say, it's not the product. It's the process. Our wheats or our grains are adding pain and inflammation to our body. Think about how much wheat we consume. Think about how much sugar we consume. The dairy. I can't say dairy. A lot of people now, dairy will help build mucus in the body, which can add to pain and inflammation. I can't say that dairy is the root cause, because some people will say, oh, it's the dairy, you got to leave that alone. Again, the process. Because if you get raw milk, farm eggs straight out of the coop that ain't been sprayed and bleached and all this goofy stuff. If the products are made right or treated right, 9 times out of 10, they won't upset your body the way they have been. Our body is not used to the process. It ain't the product, it's the process. Now, some people do have sensitivities to different things, but 9 times out of 10, it's the process that's causing your sensitivity. Some people say, I can't drink milk. We don't care for milk. We don't drink it like that. We went to Anaval Trades a few months ago, and we had goat milk for the first time. We actually love goat milk, which is healthier. And some people have never tried goat milk. Again, it didn't come from the store. We actually milked these goats ourselves and tried the milk, and it was amazing. So it's not always the product, but it's definitely the process sometimes. Most of the time, it's the process. Our body doesn't like all this unnatural or synthetic stuff, and it's just our body reacting. So a lot of people say, hey, all of a sudden somebody having a seizure, or these cancers are growing. I have parasites. My pain is out of whack, or my kid is ADHD, or they saying that, whatever, autism. It's always our foods. And wheat is one of those big things that we never even think about. We'll go to the store and get whole wheat, 100% whole wheat, and don't even realize it's garbage. They take all the good stuff out and add a synthetic to it, because that adds shelf life. Like this wheat we buy from Grand Teton. This wheat is this. We got this package. This package. It was packaged May 16th, 2025. May 16th, 2025. Best buy date is May 16th, 2027. Now this one is spelt berries. I think the Corazon is the same. So when you get wheat from a company such as Grand Teton or ancientgrain.com, they most of the time will harvest this wheat the same week, the day before, whenever they whenever they process your order. That wheat has been harvested within a few days or so, maybe a few hours. They will put the dates on here, and within a year or two, you need to use this. It will start losing its life. But what they don't do is they don't strip it of the brand or the germ, which we need, because they want it to sit on the shelf longer. They don't want this to sit on the shelf for 10 years. They don't want this to sit on the shelf for 5 years. And these are berries, so all of the nutrients are still here. And I tell people, even if you can't afford, if you cannot afford to buy a grain mill, they can be expensive. Get them already grinded up, rather than say, well, I'm just going to get this from the store. That store wheat is messing us up in so many ways. It's always the little things that we don't even think about. Like, who would have thought our wheat? And think about that. Pizza. We love pizza. When you eating fried foods, they breading it. Pasta. We love pasta. everything we eat, and think about our kids. Our kids are suffering, autistic, all this other different stuff. Our kids are suffering from all these different ailments, and it could possibly just be the food. And the first thing they want to do is put them on medicine, put them on this, put them on that. How about let's check out their diet? What are they eating? Cereal, French toast sticks, waffles, pancakes, a sandwich at lunch, maybe pizza at lunch, chicken nuggets, pasta, macaroni and cheese. What are they eating? So we have to learn what the ingredients are when it comes to our products, and that can help with pain and inflammation. But when you eat pork, white sugar, you open yourself up to things like worms getting into your tendon joints causing pain. But we can't just say, we can't leave it at, that's true. With pork, sugar, fruits, vegetables, everything, chicken, beef, when we eat, we open ourselves up to parasites, worms, not just pork or sugar. You know, and that's the thing. People will say, oh, if you eat meat, you're going to have parasites, or you're going to catch cancer, or you're going to do this, that, and the third. A lot of people are vegan. They eat 100% plants, fruit. They go to the store, they buy it, and guess what? They end up so sick. They can't figure out why they sick. What's that? Not saying I'm not against plant-based, I'm not against carnivore, I'm not against people that eat both. I'm not against any of it. It's just, where are your products coming from? Let me tell you, my husband, we bought a pig the other day. We bought a whole pig. We did raise 2 pigs a while ago, a couple years ago, but this time we decided to let Hunter Cattle Company handle that for us. So we bought a pig, and my husband cooked some bacon the other morning. That was the best bacon I have ever had, ever. Like, it was so clean, wasn't salty, wasn't weird, so clean. I don't care what bacon I got out the store, who name was on the pack, or what. The bacon did not taste nowhere near as fresh and crisp and clean as this bacon we got the other day. We went to Hunter and toured and hung out with them for a whole day, and saw the process of how they do things, and sat down and talked to the whole family. That was like the most, that was so enjoyable to sit down and talk to them, have a meal with them, and hear the stories of how they got to where they are today. So I can't just blame, now I can blame the process when it comes to pork and sugar, or beef, or chicken, or plants, such as our fruits and vegetables. You can, anything. There are people that are 100% plant-based or vegan, and they do not consume animal anything, and they are sick as a dog. So it ain't always just the meat. It ain't always just sugar. That's why I'm saying we got to look at other things, such as our wheat, the process of our meats, the process of our fruits and vegetables, because they spraying them with all this junk. Your body can't handle that. That's what's making us sick. So once I learned how to look at things, when I go in the store, I'm learning. I'm not going to say I'm a pro at it, but I'm learning still, because when I go in the stores, I'm always like taking my time and looking at the ingredients, and I want to go see what this is. If I've never seen this brand, I want to see what it is. And I'm keeping in mind that all of the ingredients, everything may not be on this label, but I'm going to do my research while I'm here. Let me see. I'm on amoxicillin for pneumonia. What can I use as a natural substitute? I would use oregano oil. So look into the benefits of oregano oil. I'll never take amoxicillin. I will always try oregano oil first, because it is the most powerful antibiotic. So oregano oil. You can make your own. I'm assuming you need it now, but definitely get you a good oregano oil. I know Andale Homestead does sell it cheap, but don't go to Andale yet because she not in a she not able to ship right now. But find you some oregano oil and you can replace your amoxicillin with that. So first we want to look at what we are eating, causing the pain, discomfort, inflammation, issues. Once you start changing your diet, you'll see that some of this pain is backing up. And it may be the dairy, it may be the sugar, it may be the meat, it may be the fruit. You just have to figure out what is it for me. When you buy meats, I would always suggest go to a local farmer. Always. When you go in the store and they say grass fed, it just say grass fed. They paid for a label. They paid for a label. And it say grass fed. Is it really grass fed? That's the thing. Can someone allergic to penicillin take oregano oil? So 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say yeah, because again, it's probably not the oregano oil, meaning it's not the olive oil or the oregano. It's probably the process, the synthetics in the penicillin versus something natural. So I'm going to say probably so. But no two people are the same. You know how I can't give medical advice, but we always got to think about the process. Penicillin versus oregano oil. So what's the difference? First, penicillin is a synthetic. Oregano oil can be extra virgin olive oil and oregano grown right in your own yard, and you know exactly what that is. Get a good olive oil. You should be good to go. So now we got food down because that can cause pain, inflammation, and issues. You always want to know why am I hurting, or why am I sick, or why am I whatever. Not just what do I do to stop myself from hurting. Why am I hurting? Why am I hurting? And what am I going to do? Am I ready for this battle? Because I was ready for mine. So after we started changing our diet some and looking into things, we hadn't even changed the wheat yet. I was making bread and I felt like, oh, I'm doing something because I make my husband bread. We don't buy no bread from the store. Not even knowing how dangerous the wheat in the store is. I was buying flour by 25-pound bags. Hey, Andale, I was just talking about you. Y'all make sure y'all say good morning to Andale. She felt them prayers y'all was sending up for her and word. I thought I was doing something by making my husband's bread. We were buying flour 25 pounds at a time. And I said, that devil can't beat us. We making our own bread. I'm gonna make my own cakes and pies and everything from scratch. I'm gonna make my own pasta, blah blah this. But then again, the devil had me beat. So I had to, when my husband was diagnosed with diabetes, we had to figure out, okay, he went full carnivore, reversed his diabetes. Now how do we incorporate things back in his life? And that's when the wheat came into play. But we had started changing our diet and eating more natural foods that we grow, trusting these herbs more, because I trusted the doctors, y'all. I mean, that's just normal. I will go to the doctor, see what they say. I ain't saying don't go. Definitely go. Sometimes we need the doctor. We need to go and get ourselves some help. Don't deny yourself of help because of Big Pharma. Go to the doctor and see about yourself. That is most important. Self-diagnosing, that ain't it. Go to the doctor, see about yourself. When you come home, you can do your research. And see, what can I do to help myself? What can I do to help my loved ones? But I need to go and see about myself. So, and that's how we found out my husband had diabetes and high blood pressure at the same time. But we were able to battle that at the beginning stages and turn that around for him. So we changed our diet. And then I wanted to figure out, because my doctor had me rotating muscle relaxers, Tylenol, and ibuprofen is what I took most of the time. I stopped taking pain meds a long time ago. I took them after surgery a little bit sparingly, and that was it. But I would be hurting, and I'm just going to be hurting, because I did not like the way the pain meds made me feel, and most of the time it didn't do anything to me. If I sneezed and blew this sciatic nerve out, I ended up in the hospital, and they would say, I don't know why you still hurting. And I would be laying in there moaning and groaning, miserable. And they would say, I gave you all this morphine. I gave you all this Dilaudid. I don't know what, hurting. One day, I ran across information about castor oil. And I would ignore castor oil, because I was like, I'm not drinking that stuff. I just can't. I don't know if I can stomach drinking castor oil ever in life. I said, and I know it did my body good when I was growing up. I remember taking it. But I'm not drinking castor oil. But one day something told me to slow down and pay attention. So I did some research on castor oil. And the first thing we started doing was dropping it in our navel. I told my husband, I said, you should drop this castor oil in your navel. Again, he didn't have any pain issues. But I felt like he could sleep a little bit better. Because when I would wake up, he would be looking at his phone or watching TV or whatever. So I said, well, maybe he'll get a good night's sleep if he dropped this in his navel. Let's see if this even works. I know that I am connected to my mother, my father, and God first through that navel. So I felt like this could be something powerful if it worked, but I couldn't get it in my mind together. So I dropped it in my navel. My husband dropped some in his navel. We went to sleep. Went on to sleep that achy night and woke up the next morning, and I sat up and I was like, we use Heritage Store castor oil. I should have brought it. Dropped castor oil in my navel, and I tell people now, I know it sounds weird, and if it sounds too weird, don't tell nobody you're doing it, but just try it and see. Drop 3 to 5 drops of castor oil in your navel and go to sleep. They have these patches now you can put over your navel so it'll hold it there. But we just put it in our navel and rub some around our belly and go to bed. Never had any issues with it staining the bed. I do have a couple dresses with castor oil stain on the belly, but that's because I walk around with it on my navel. I get in the bed, but other than that, I don't have it on anything. Dropped castor oil in my navel the first night. My husband slept like a baby, one, and I woke up pain-free, and I was saying, I don't know if I'm not in pain or if I want to be out of pain so bad. I think I'm not hurting, so I don't know. I sat up on the side of the bed. I ain't feel nothing. I got up and walked to the bathroom, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I said, maybe so. Let's see. So I got dressed and took Thor for a walk, and I felt good walking. We walked, came back. I was able to do stuff around the house. I ain't had to sit down and take a break or nothing. The second day I did it again, but I sat down because I couldn't figure out is this real? When I went for my walk day 2, I said, while I was walking, I cried, and I said, I don't know, God, if this is pain-free and this is what you are blessing me with, and if it just lasts for this moment, I'm grateful for it because I feel good right now, and I haven't felt this good in a long time. So I sat around a lot that day because I was trying to figure out what is going on. I am not hurting. I asked my husband, I said, are you going back to sleep? He said, no, I feel real rested. Like, no. Which was new for him because he would usually eat breakfast and go back to sleep. He was up and at it. So a few nights later, we decided to skip it. My husband was up. I woke up in pain. And I was like, that's weird. I'm achy and hurting. And all I did was not drop castor oil in my navel. He didn't drop it in his navel. He was up watching TV, chilling. So I said, okay, we're going to do this every night. We have been 99% of the time, every night we put castor oil in our navel. Every now and then I might skip a night or so. I've learned that from you a while ago. And baby, the most sound sleep I ever had, I'm telling you, I don't have any pain, so I can't speak on that part. But and that's how Bobby is. Bobby doesn't have pain, but he sleeps really sound, really good, peaceful sleep when he do that. I did see, so we use the Heritage Store castor oil, and you can find it in Amazon storefront. I should have had that link for y'all, but I don't. But it is in our Amazon storefront. And that started me on my pain-free journey, and I felt like, okay, I can't let off this because I'm not hurting, but I need to see. Now, we know everything in moderation. Too much of anything is not good for us. Too much of anything is not good for us. So first we started talking about the castor oil and what it had done for me. Let me see, because I saw what somebody said. When I put drops of castor oil in my navel, I had the worst vertigo of my life. I'm sure it did something positive, but I couldn't get past. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, if it flared up something, or if you think it was from the castor oil, I would definitely be careful with it. Now, when you first start using castor oil, it has the ability to detox you. So it's going to push them toxins and that junk out. And sometimes we got to push through some pain or some stuff to get to the other side because we are full of toxins. So the castor oil, and this is why I always say it's important to do your own research. It is very important to push through so you can detox your body and get on to your healing journey. Now, I'm going to talk about vertigo right quick for a second. My mom is 98. So for mom, I would get her pain away oil, honestly. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So we had a lady, she suffered with vertigo. We were out of town. She walked up to us, and you could tell she was dizzy. She said, "Oh, my vertigo just kicked in." So she was trying to get to a seat. She sat down beside us, and she said she had injured her shoulder earlier in the day. So Bobby, when he got the pain away from our room, because again, we were at the hotel, and I told her, I said, "I'm going to rub some on your shoulder." And I knew she was having this vertigo spell. I said, "But what I am going to do is I'm going to rub some on your neck and around your ears, because, you know, that's where your vertigo is, just the inflammation. Your ears are off balance." So I rubbed the pain away on her shoulder, up the back of her neck, and around her ears. And my assistant took her on to her, walked with her back to her room. We were in Alabama for an event. The next morning, we were checking out, and the same young lady was in the lobby at the hotel. And when she turned around and saw me, she said, "Oh my God." She said, "I suffer with vertigo, and it's really bad, to the point where when I have a flare up, I have to go to the hospital. I can't eat. I'm so sick." She said last night was the first time ever my vertigo just came and went. And the only thing she did was rub the pain away on her neck and ears. So I told her, I said, "Take this pain away." I gave her a bottle of it and told her, "Drop a little bit in your ears so it can help with the inflammation in your ears." I haven't talked to her. I need to ask her how she been doing lately, but she been doing pretty good. She was doing pretty good when I talked to her some months ago. So I tell people, you know, it may help you with vertigo, the pain away. You can rub it around your ears. You can drop a little bit in the ears to help with the inflammation. So to avoid a hysterectomy, this is what I would have done. Again, I'm not a doctor. and I cannot give medical advice. I had a total hysterectomy because of fibroids. If I knew what I know now, then I wouldn't have had a hysterectomy. I would have tried castor oil packs first. So what you want to do with the castor oil pack is get you a cotton cloth, clean cotton cloth, because remember, castor oil is the deepest penetrating oil. You want to make sure it's thick, because castor oil is thick and goopy, and you want to get a good amount on your castor oil pack. So you want to get panty liner and a castor oil pack or a cotton cloth. Two things you want to do with that. You want to wear that panty liner, put some castor oil on it. Panty liner, you want to wear that. Your castor oil pack, you want to put it on your belly. And you want to wear that for a couple hours every day. You want to be consistent with that. The castor oil is the deepest penetrating oil, and what it can do is dissolve and get rid of those fibroids. Of course, we have to be careful what we eating. Buy chicken, you want to go somewhere, again, like Hunter Kettle Farm, where they ain't using no antibiotics, no steroids, none of that stuff. You need all that out of your system. So if you eat meat, you have to be very careful. But also plants, vegetables, fruit. You don't need fruit and stuff that are sprayed with junk to make it look pretty. So that is how you can possibly dissolve your own fibroids without surgery. For sciatic nerve, so this is what I did for my sciatic nerve. So my pain in my back calmed down a lot, but I still had this neuropathy and sciatic issue, which stemmed from my back issue, my back injury. So because I wanted to be able to wear boots again, I got my boots on today. What I did was I took that castor oil pack. Well, what I took was napkins, because I knew I would be throwing them away every day. So I took some napkins. I poured castor oil on it, nice and thick. I took cayenne pepper. I don't have out here, but I took my cayenne pepper powder. We grow our cayenne, so we know that it isn't sprayed with anything or played with. Took the cayenne pepper, and I sprinkled the powder on the castor oil pack. And I stuck it on the bottom of my foot. And I did that for about 5 days. And what that do is get that circulation. What it do is it start shrinking the inflammation, taking care of that inflammation, and get the circulation moving again the way it's supposed to move. And eventually by day 5 or so, I could feel my toes, and I was like, wait, my foot wasn't burning. It's not irritated, doesn't hurt. So now what I do is I take the pain away, and you can skip the castor oil pack and just use pain away if you have pain away. For sciatic and neuropathy issues, I would rub that foot down good, rub the lower back, your hip, because that's where it radiates, all down that hip and that leg. But if you take care of that back and rub it good and that hip and the bottom of your foot, that should help you tremendously. It's so funny, I was talking to my mom yesterday. My brother had been having issues with his elbows. I'm not sure, I didn't ask him how long, but he was when I was talking to mom, she put my brother on the phone, and he said, hey, I started using your oil on my elbows. He said, my elbows hurt because I lift weights. I started using your pain away, some of your oil on my elbows. He said, girl, I can go out and work all day now. Like, my elbows don't hurt and whatever. So he told me his wife was having issues with her knees. And I said, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised at what God provided us with. Because we are so used to running to the store, running to the doctor and getting those synthetics. We think that's what we got to do. I said, but if we stop and learn to trust the one doctor that put everything here for us to live and be healthy, ooh, you'd be surprised at what you can do for yourself. Fibromyalgia, same thing. pain away oil. The pain away oil, we met a lady in West Palm Beach. She got fibromyalgia. She said it flared up real bad when it rained. She rubbed some pain away oil on. I had a couple bottles with me when we were down there, and she rubbed some on her, and she was like, "Ooh, the relief." She said, "I never can get relief, especially when it's raining." She was so happy. So definitely pain away oil for fibromyalgia. I love the pain oil. Thank you. Frozen shoulder. So frozen shoulder is funny. I ain't gonna say it's funny. It's weird because frozen shoulder could be a hormone imbalance issue. Some people go through menopause or have hormone imbalance and they get this frozen shoulder. The pain away can help you with that, but I would suggest wild yam cream also. Definitely you want to make sure you do your range of motion every day, moving yourself around and forcing yourself to move some. You may have to help that arm, but it could be just your hormones are off. The wild yam cream can set your hormones straight, but again, we have to start with diet. What am I consuming that can help me get past these? With far as your knees, I would do the same thing. So you put pack on your lower stomach and panty liner web. Yep, for fibroids. Yep. For cancer, cancer is cancer is one of those things that feed off of life. Period. You can't feed it air. You can't feed it sugar. You can't feed it this. I've done a lot of research in cancer just because something told me to. And like 3 weeks into my research, I get a call from Tropical Homestead saying, "Hey, we need prayers and help with this fight." And I told her, "Hey, Sue," I told her the things that I found in my research. And I said, they say that it's a parasite. And we feed this parasite all the time. So definitely cutting out sugar, definitely cutting out chemicals. What we clean it with, like some people say, "I can't stand to clean with vinegar." Trust me, that smell gonna dissipate. But it's the best thing, one of the best things to clean with compared to the chemicals. And when you're fighting something such as cancer, you need to get away from all the chemicals. Whatever you washing your hair with, your body with, your lotions, your moisturizers, makeup, all this different stuff, we have to get away from that to fight cancer. We have to live a clean, natural life. Juicing is good, soursop is good, in moderation. Now, we're going to talk about the soursop fruit. Because a lot of people say, "I need that fruit." Honestly, I would trust the leaves before I trust the fruit, because how much of the fruit can I consume before it interact with feeding cancer? Or will it even interact with feeding cancer? Because the sugar content in the soursop is so high, that's my only fear. You can get the same benefits from the leaves just as good, and you won't have to worry about the sugar. So soursop, of course, is good. Seeded red grapes are good because you need the seed. Seeds can heal. People will say, "Don't eat the seeds." This is why things are seedless now, because the seeds can heal. You gotta look into it. They'll say, "Oh, don't eat grapefruit if you got high blood pressure and take the medicine." Why? Because the grapefruit will lower your blood pressure. So now I can pick and choose. Do I want this medicine from the doctor, or do I want to eat the grapefruit? Which one would you rather have? But they'll tell you, don't eat the grapefruit. So they will scare us when it comes to natural compared to synthetics. We just got to do our own research. So when it comes to cancer, we need a natural life. We need to live as natural as we can. I know it's not easy this day in lifetime. I would juice because you want to starve that cancer out, which is basically a parasite. Seeds are hard to find for a reason. They are hard to find. They do that on purpose. But then you want to look into things like ivermectin, a dewormer, to help cut the blood supply of the parasites and then you can run them out. But you do need a binder like charcoal when you take in a dewormer, so you can get rid of the parasites. It will make you poop, but you want to go to the bathroom because you got to get it out. So look into the benefits of ivermectin. Look at the studies when it comes to cancer, because I cannot give medical advice. All I can do is give you some tips and encourage you to do your own research. So back to pain. Try not to miss too many. Skin cancer spots. Yeah, ivermectin, you can use it topically or you can ingest it. So for skin cancer, I would definitely put that ivermectin on the spots. So, and you can get that at Tractor Supply or Amazon. So how powerful is sea moss? Sea moss is great, long as it's real. Again, we live in the United States where they say everything is real. People always ask, well, what do I do for alopecia or thinning hair? And I say botana oil, but not all botana oils are created equal. Same thing with sea moss. This is the United States. They make anything. And they put sour sop on it. They put sea moss on it. They put whatever on it. And it just ain't right. Botana, they put that on it. But it's something that they made and they can sell, and people know that it is popular and it's supposed to help, and they trust it and they buy it and they make a lot of money off of it. So because I can't get my own sea moss, I don't even bother. You know, I know you can buy it dried, but still, is that even real? I know I can grow a moringa tree and eat them leaves every day, harvest them leaves. We can freeze dry them, we can powder them, we can sprinkle it on whatever we want to, and take those, and that's just as powerful as the sea moss. But I know I can grow that in the United States. We can harvest our own, we can freeze dry it. So that's always the issue with things. There are a lot of great things out here in the world, but what are the chances of us getting the real thing? I have a reverse problem with my hair. I have so much. Oh yeah. So when it comes to pain, now what I do now is now, and let me say this, because we are human. We travel, we go out, we have fun, we live life. Meaning, we eat out. I'm not a drinker, but I occasionally will have a drink, maybe, sometimes. Just depending on what it is. My drinks got to be real sweet, so I just pretty much stay away from them. But we are human. If we go to a wedding or a birthday party or something, we're not going to sit there and be like, yo, we can't eat y'all food. You know, we are going to pick and choose what we going to eat and how much of it we going to eat or whatever. But we are human, so we always leave space, that 10-15% for life. To get out, enjoy life, go have fun. Listen to a live band, have a drink, dance, live. This doesn't mean don't live, just sit at home and be terrified of everything. Be cautious, pay attention to what's going on, and make the best decision for yourself. But enjoy life. You know, stress causes pain. Stress, pressure, bust pipes. You need to get out and de-stress sometime, because all this is it's going to irritate your body, it's going to irritate your soul, and you don't want to do that. That make you just want to sit and be lazy. You have no drive for nothing because I'm stressed out or whatever. Leave 10-15%. If you are 100% doing everything wrong, cut it back to 25%. Cut it back to 75%. Do the best you can. Every day we wake up, we got another chance to get it right. Every single day. Like, I'm telling y'all, when God put us here, He did a thing for us. He remained faithful to us no matter what walk we go on, what turn we turn, whatever. He remained faithful to us. He forgive us. He still got our back. It's okay. You messed up yesterday. Guess what? I'm here today to get it together, to make it right. I think all the time about how blessed I am, how blessed we are, because my husband could be on insulin or taking metformin every day or whatever, but he not. Never was prescribed a blood pressure pill because of God's way, knowing that we could just get some cayenne pepper and take that, change our diet and be more conscious of what we eat, and it changed his entire life. Me learning about all of these plants and what my biggest thing was pain. I wanted to get off blood pressure medicine and pain, and God turned around and blessed me with that. I stand here pain-free today, and we only use natural products. Pain away oil. I might use my pain away oil like 3 times, 4 times a month. Bobby only use it when he work out too hard in the gym. He'll say, can you rub my arm down or something, because he ain't a big weight lifter, but he try to stay fit. I guess that's what you call it. He work on staying fit. He don't lift to be strong because we're getting older. But sometimes he can strain a muscle or work too hard, and he'll say, hey, can you rub my arm down or whatever, maybe hurt my back, might be sore or something. But that's about it. We may use this maybe 4 or 5 times a month each. Bobby may be less. Careful of what we eat. We move around pretty much all day, and life is great. Like, I'm in disbelief sometimes, or in awe when I hear people say, wow, I have been in pain for years, and this oil has helped me so much, because I know what it feels like to be in pain for years and thinking, this is just life. Some people can just take cayenne pepper and it'll help with pain. We are all so different, but we got to figure out what's going to work for me. What do I do? What's going to be my regimen for my body? Because we are not the same. For UTIs, I would look into corn silk. So the silks from the corn, the hair, if you shuck the corn, the hair on the inside, the corn silk, I would look into that. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you. Trying to get my husband off metformin and insulin. So what worked for my husband really good was carnivore. We couldn't go to the store and just buy meat, though. Let me tell you how God worked. My husband found out he was a diabetic, and we lost our power because of the hurricane last year. We lost all of our food. To me, that was a blessing, and it was hurtful, because I was like, we could have cooked this food and fed a bunch of people, but it just happened so fast. And then I said, well, maybe not, because maybe I don't need to feed somebody this food. Maybe it's not the best choice for us. So let's just get rid of it and start over. So we got rid of all that food, y'all. I cried cleaning out these freezers. We didn't have a generator at the time. Now we have one. We never had to use a generator for the almost 10 years we've been together. But now we have one just in case. But lost all our food, so we had to go buy food. And this is where we came across all of our friends from Anna of all trades, Melissa Norton, like so many people that were able to guide us into the correct way of purchasing good, clean meat that can heal your body. Dr. Bill up in Maryland, he was telling Bobby about carnivore, and we had already talked about carnivore, but that was like his confirmation. So when he ate a lot of beef, he ate eggs, cheese, ground beef mainly, because he would eat hamburgers. And we would put butter in his hamburger, so it was healthy fats, healthy proteins, healthy oils. He did that for a good 30 days, and his numbers have been in the 100, low 100, 90, I think 98 or 95 or something is the lowest I've seen it. The highest I've seen it is 110. which I say is great still, with no medicine. It's just controlled by his diet. So again, I would find a local farmer that raise their own meat, go in there and ask questions. And because that's why we ended up at Hunter. We had questions. Are we sure we're not using no antibiotics, no steroids? What are you feeding them? Because that is very important. They will say grass-fed, but there's a difference in grass-fed and 100% grass-fed. Again, in the stores, they can buy labels. The more money you spend, the more fancy your label is. They can buy 100% grass-fed labels. They can be cheaper and buy grass-fed labels. We went to Hunter. They explained it all to us. They did their thing. We've been eating the meat for 10, 11 months now, and it's amazing. No, we've been eating their meats for 9 months. Yeah, about 9 months now. Because we bought a half a cow in November, and it lasts us. We just ran out of that last week, and we picked up a half a cow and a pig last week. So you want to find you a local butcher or somewhere and talk to them and talk to them. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because you putting this food in your body. Your food should be your medicine. Not, I'm going to eat this food, but I'm going to take this because it's going to give me acid reflux, or it's going to do this, that, and the third. No. That's not what we're doing. Our food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be our food. So definitely talk to them. You can reach out to Hunter Cattle Company. They are located here in Brooklet, Georgia, which is about 30 miles or so from us. But they do ship. They will only ship if they can get that meat to you in 2 days. But they do ship. So you can reach out to them and talk to them and see if they can ship it to you. But they have the most, let me tell you, that family is just amazing. We had a ball with them. Can soursop trees grow in Kentucky? Absolutely. So this is what I'm going to say about soursop. We grow soursop for the leaves more so than for the fruit. It would be nice if we could get the fruit, but again, fruit is not the most important thing to us, because the leaves of the tree is for the healing of the nation. So we want the leaves. We grow ours in a pot all the time. We never put it in the ground. You can do that anywhere, long as you can keep that tree warm and protect it from inclement weather. You can grow a soursop anywhere. Put it in a pot, take care of it. I get Bobby to do a video for y'all on how he pot and care for our soursop trees, but they do great. We know we got to bring it in when it starts getting cool. They don't care for a whole lot of wind. You'll see the leaves start turning brown a little bit, like they burning. But that's just it saying I'm not happy. But before it get too cold, I would take all those leaves off and dry them out. Take all the leaves off your tree and dry them leaves out, because that is your medicine. You need that. If you don't drink it but once a week, drink you a little bit of soursop tea here and there. So a lot of questions for just came in. A lot of pain due to sciatic. What do you suggest? So I would get pain away oil. Just to be easy with it. The pain away oil will take care of your sciatic nerve. Now, for sciatic and neuropathy issues, you have to rub your back down good, your lower back, because that's where it's stemming from probably. Your lower back, your hip, the bottom of your foot. That way, it'll work on that inflammation wherever, whatever side you have that issue on. So I would rub my lower back. You shake this well, get you a little bit, rub that lower back, hip, and the bottom of your foot, and massage it in a little bit. You should start feeling that within a few minutes. So, you're welcome. Pain away oil, castor oil does work for pain. We appreciate you, Tracy. Thank you, Shirley. So, you can heal yourself from pain. So what we have in this I was reading a comment. In here we have castor oil, a little bit of magnesium, cayenne pepper, garlic, oregano, rosemary. So what we do is we extract the oils from our plants. And we like to use our plants because we know that we don't spray our plants. We can source things out. Right now we don't have to because we grow a lot. And I got this tower full of, my husband keep pulling cayenne pepper. It's full of cayenne pepper. We freeze dry cayenne pepper. We just set it out to dry over time. But we extract the oils from our plants because we know there are no pesticides, no chemicals in them. And we formulated this oil, and this is basically what we have. We put a little bit of magnesium in here, and we use castor oil as our carrier oil because it's the deepest penetrating oil, and it handles its business. Cayenne pepper hard to grow indoors. I'm not sure. I've never tried to grow it indoor. I'm not sure. Ours do great outside. They need light, they need sun and warmth. So I'm not sure how they will actually do in the house. Hey, cousin. Y'all, my cousin. So y'all see a lot of them, or if you've seen them at events, SoilFamily Expo, you've seen my cousin, LaTanya. She on Facebook. No, she on YouTube. She bought a house. I'm so proud of her. I was texting her at 11 o'clock the other day when she was signing her paperwork, because I know how it is when you buy a house and they come with that stack of paperwork. And I was so proud of her, and just watching her go through all the motions of buying a house. And she finally closed on Monday. Told her I'm gonna come over there because I think she the next few days she is off, so I hope she's decorating. This woman can decorate a house. I hired her to decorate my bedroom, but basically my house, my townhouse, when I was single. Ooh, that girl can decorate. And I want to show y'all some of her work because it's amazing. She's working on an accent wall and some other things. So definitely tell my cousin, congratulations. I am so proud of her, and I'm so grateful for her because she helped us so much when it comes to everything. She helped us so much, but she definitely got our back with Blacktropicalhomestead. We are the only three that touch our products. My cousin LaTanya, myself, and my husband. But man, it's just a blessing to have good health. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you because you are a homeowner now. And it's an amazing feeling. So you keep doing the Lord's work, and He's going to keep on blessing you. And that's for all of us, y'all. I'm telling you, if we are obedient to God, of course, again, He left us that little rope so that we can have mistakes there. But every day we got another chance to get it right. Don't ever feel like it's too late to get it right. We don't know what's ahead of us. We have no clue. There ain't but one person that knows, and that's that man that sit high and he look low. He put us on paths that we don't understand. Sometimes He just showing us our own strength. A lot of times, all He doing is showing us that you are stronger than you think. Let me show you how I know. And we may question it because we like, why is this happening, or why are we going through this? That might be God just showing us our own strength. So, whatever you are going through, whatever you think you can't get through, just know that you got this. You got this. There are people out here praying, not all good, but we ain't gonna worry about them because their arms are too short to box with God. So just keep trusting God and keep doing what you're doing. If you are on a path to heal, whatever you are trying to heal from, trust God. He got us in so many ways. And I'm so grateful today to be able to stand here pain-free. Look, I'm looking forward to going fishing next week. Whew. I told Bobby, I said, we've been fishing. Fishing, my husband loves to fish. So I love taking them different places where he can fish. This trip is a fishing trip. 39 hours of fishing. My mama said, I don't want to be on nobody's boat that long. I told Bobby, I said, we going catching this time. Because Bobby been doing a whole lot of fishing. I said, this trip is your job to do the catching. because I've been doing all the catching. But I would love to pass that crown on to him during this trip. So if you have not heard, we have a huge trip coming up. Hubbard Marina. We will be on a 39-hour fishing trip. We leave on the 27th of July, and we will return 2 days later. So Bobby got a whole lot of catching to do out there in the Gulf of Mexico, and I will be there to record it all. Hopefully, it won't be the opposite way around again. Cause I'm trying to pass it on. I'm trying to pass it on. So we will do a meet and greet also in St. Pete at St. Pete Pier. I was trying to figure out, are we going to do this at St. Pete Pier or are we going to go to Tampa? So we will be at St. Pete Pier, Karen, I can't remember the date. The 26th at 5 p.m. Anyhow, there's an email blast coming out about the meet and greet in St. Petersburg, Florida. I think it's on the 26th. So make sure you are on our email list at blacktropicalhomestead.com. Pain Away. Yes, you can order Pain Away oil. And you can get moringa capsules from us. I don't even have moringa capsules up here. But anyhow, we sell capsules. And what we do is we grow it, we powder it, and we capsule it. This is just a bag of capsules that we need to package up. It's just storage over there. So you can order moringa capsules. You can order Pain Away oil. You can order blood pressure support also from us. Our website is blacktropicalhomestead.com. If you have any issues, you can always email us at homestead@blacktropicalhomestead.com. Moringa is out of stock. Oh, okay. I have moringa. I need to restock it. You can restock it, Karen. I thought I restocked it. But okay. Yes, we can restock moringa. You'll miss us again. That's all right. We're going to keep on. We're going to keep moving. We're going to keep it moving. I hope you have room in your freezer. So, I ran out of room when I was unpackaging the cow. I ran out of room in the freezer. When Bobby walked back out here in the workshop, I said, Houston, we have a problem. And he said, what? I said, we ran out of space. He was like, and the whole pig was still sitting on the table. He said, well, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to go buy a freezer. So we hurried up and ran up the street to Home Depot and bought a freezer and had that sucker plugged up and put that pig in the freezer. So the pig is in the freezer, the cow is in the freezer. But we do have space for Bobby's fish that he going to catch. Not mine. Bobby's again, because we're going to pass this crown over to him. I'm a little intimidated by the big fish that they catch out there. So I want this to be Bobby's catching experience because he's been watching me catch. Now I want to watch him catch because I don't want the fish to be too big because I'm going to pass it along to him. But would you consider giving a phone number for your business, please? Yeah, let me talk to. So send us a message because so when you send us a message at homestead@blacktropicalhomestead.com, my assistant, I'm going to drop the link. What did I do? Oh, email Homestead. So if you have any issues, you can email us at homestead@blacktropicalhomestead.com. Homestead@blacktropicalhomestead.com if you have any issues. The website is blacktropical.com. You can Google Black's Tropical Homestead or blacktropical.com and the website should pop up. If you have any issues, just email us. Now, when you email us, 9 times out of 10, you will get Karen. Life is very, very busy. We are now a team of 4, right? We're a team of 4, pretty much. Between Bobby, myself, Latanya, and Karen, we get a lot of messages. We work as much as we can. Somebody asked me yesterday, how many hours a day do y'all work? I said, probably about 14, 15 hours a day. And that's what making products, packaging products, shipping products, responding to emails, responding to posts, posting videos, filming, editing. Bobby do majority of our editing. We probably work a good 15, 16 hours, 7 days a week. So if you send us a message and we don't get right back to you, trust me, we are working at being proficient and getting back to you. But just be a little patient with us. We are a small business and we definitely appreciate y'all and all your hard work. Helping us out, keeping us going. We appreciate that. 6 p.m. later than 7 days a week. Yeah, I start my day. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's a busy life, but definitely send us a message so that we can help you out. We are here for you. All orders, majority orders have went out. We do have honey available. I'm not sure what's left, but we do have honey available. It has sold out one time real quick. It may be close to selling out now, and we just restocked yesterday. But most of this honey is sold. We do have a little bit more left, and that will be it for until the fall, I think Bobby said. So if you would like honey, definitely get your orders in. Those orders will go out. If you place the order, what time did I go to the post store? I stopped packing orders yesterday at noon, I think. So if you placed an order after, I'm going to say 11 a.m. yesterday, your order will go out tomorrow. So that's what I'm about to do, is start working on orders. We do not sell cayenne seeds. We've seen cayenne seeds in stores like Walmart. They sell a bunch of different variety of cayenne seeds, but we don't sell cayenne seeds. What do you sell that is soursop? So we normally have a soursop tea blend, which is our powerhouse tea blend, which sell out very fast also. I talked to my husband about that to see where we are with leaves, because again, we don't source our leaves out. We grow our own, and that is what we sell. We once looked into sourcing soursop leaves and different things, but again, we can't trust people to say, no, we don't spray our trees, because they're going to charge us an arm and a leg for these leaves, and then we're going to sell them to y'all. But we want to make sure we sell y'all something that's not poison, because the purpose in this is to heal. So that's why we're so careful with where we get our products from. I mix castor oil with cayenne powder and coconut oil in a small jar. I rub it on my left hip every morning. Arthritis pain gone for the day. I'm telling you, we can do so much for ourselves. They just make us feel like we don't have time. I can't do this. If you can buy it from the store, you can make it at home 10 times better. If you can purchase it from the store, you can make it at home 10 times better. So, all right, y'all. Again, blacktropical.com is the website. Homestead at blacktropical.com is our email if you need to reach out to us to get help for placing your order, or if you're having an issue. Definitely get on our email list so you can get an email blast to know where we are next or what we got going on. I know we have a meeting tonight in Savannah, so that's where we'll be tonight. But I want y'all to have an amazing day. Again, share this live out. We did give a lot of information. Orders will go out tomorrow. I'm going to start packing them here in a few minutes. So you should get your shipping information. I started printing tickets this morning. Shipping information may go to your spam. You just need to respond to it, click on it or something, or tell it that it's safe so it will stop going to spam. But our system will automatically send you confirmation for shipping. Please make sure your email and address are complete and correct. Because if you give us the wrong address and we ship your package, you have to pay a reshipping fee for us to. We have to wait for it to come back, and then we'll reship it. But you have to pay shipping costs then, because we're gonna only take care of one shipping cost. So make sure your address is correct. I think I'm out of moringa seeds. I have to look and see. But make sure your shipping address is correct, and make sure your email address is correct, and we'll get those things out to y'all. So again, thank y'all for all the love, all the thumbs up, the shares, the new followers, the old followers. We appreciate y'all. It's real out there. We just hit 300,000 on Bobby and Sherry Lifestyle, which is our newest platform. Bobby and Sherry Lifestyle isn't even a year old. We actually started that page November 2024, and we already hit 300,000. We couldn't do this without y'all. It's just a blessing all over these social media sites that y'all are so interested in us. And the purpose in this is to help you live, learn how to live, help you heal yourself. Put some encouraging words in your ear, because sometimes that's all it takes. You know, I always say, when you see somebody with a frown, give them a smile. It is contagious, and it can make somebody's day. Thank y'all for everything. We love and appreciate y'all. I don't have my husband here to say till the next time, guys. Don't let nobody steal your joy.